after seeing the first Annabelle, which came out, I think, back in 2014, I was really worried about this Conjuring universe because, like, so far out of the 3 movies we've had, I've really only enjoyed The Conjuring 2. I personally didn't really find The Conjuring 1 interesting or really scary, and everybody thought Annabelle was terrible, which it is, but then I saw Annabelle Creation tonight with a couple of friends. I'm looking up for this universe. I really hope it becomes something good. Granted, I did think this universe was good, I just didn't personally think if it was living up to its full potential that it could be doing. But I thought Conjuring 2 was great. It was one of my favorite films of 2016. I think, yeah, it was. But yeah, let's talk about Annabelle Creation. So Annabelle Creation is the prequel to the Annabelle that came out in 2014. And basically in this Annabelle, it focuses over a group of girls who are very, Catholic, and they're orphans. And so they move in to this orphanage house that a guy is letting the girls and their nuns stay in, and it's in the middle of nowhere, which is the first sign of trouble. Like, okay, it's pretty obvious. Don't stay in a house in the middle of nowhere. We all watched Courage the Cowardly Dog as a kid. You know that having a house out in the middle of nowhere is not good. Anywho, they're staying in this house, and basically one of the girls who had like polio or something, which I should add, the movie, I'm not sure what year it takes place. My guess is it's from the early 50s to late 70s, because there's a scene where a girl, when they first get to the house, a girl sees a TV, and they're like, whoa, they got a TV here. So I'm assuming, this was back in the time where, like, having a TV was very, classy. But yeah, this girl who had, like, polio or something, she can't walk on one of her legs. Like, one of her legs is disabled or something. And so one night, being the scary movie victim she is, she wanders into the room she shouldn't wander into, and she finds the Annabelle doll. But yeah, that's basically where the trouble starts. I should also add, the family that they're staying with, it's a wife and a husband, and so I don't really want to say what happened, but they've had a tragedy in their family. So, they're very sensitive about what the girls see and know. But let's start with the things I liked about this movie. It's the main girl. I thought the main girl who plays the one that had the polio disease, her name's Janice. I thought she did a really good job in this movie. I really liked her. And the funny thing is, she looks like she's 12, but I looked her up after I got out of the movie to see, what she's been in. She's 15 years old. I was like, whoa. They're, just those kids out there that, look like they're 10 years old, but really they're like old as me. But yeah, she did a really good job portraying the character. She definitely pulled off the aspect of a curious young girl really well. I really think what I can say that's different about this Annabelle from the first one was that it actually has an interesting plot. Like, learning about how the Annabelle doll came to creation, that's why it's in the title, because you learn about it. You learn what led up to what that eventually led up to the 2014 Annabelle. I think the biggest letdowns for me is that, it's a horror movie. And so it's got the cliche stuff. You gotta have the stupid character that has to go investigate the room when you're like, oh my gosh, don't go investigate the room, You got the people who don't even notice what's going on around them. Like, there's one scene where, like, the main girl is literally up in the middle of the night, and she's literally getting thrown around the house, like, making so much noise, and nobody hears it. It was crazy. I also wasn't really fond of the best friend of the girl. She was the one that, has to go investigate. I don't know. She was just kind of stupid, I thought. I mean, I think they made her like that on purpose, but, like, those characters just aggravate me in horror movies. The one that's the stupid, dopey best friend. But, like, I don't know. She was kind of boring and I didn't really like her. There was one scene in the movie I thought was laughably weird because I was like, okay, this isn't adding up. But basically, without spoilers, someone dies in the house, and so the character is literally on the floor, black and blue. You can clearly tell they're dead. Faces it looks like it's been strangled or something. I'm not even kidding. Literally black and blue. And so the head nun sees the character, and she's like, oh my god. And so the character gets sent away to, the hospital or whatever. And so then the nun's like, all right, girls, time for bed. And I was just like, what? You saw a dead person on the floor. Like, oh, you're telling the girls, oh, it's all right, it's time to go to bed. I thought that was laughably weird. I don't know, it was strange. I also want to add, before I say my final thoughts, I really just want to add this so people who are stupid, like, that are in the theater also with me, they didn't realize this. There are 2 post-credit scenes. There's one right after the main credits, and there's one at the very end. They're not long, but I think they're worth staying for. And luckily, I looked it up on my phone while the credits were rolling, because I would have left, because I wouldn't suspect them to be there. But like, I wouldn't say the theater that I was in was packed, but it had a fair amount of people. They all just left, and me, my two friends, and my brother were like, "No, we have to stay and watch this." There was one of our friends; she was pretty scared, but stay. There's something. Two things. Also, what I wanted to touch upon was the jump scares. They're not the worst in the world. I mean, yeah, there are a bunch of them. Okay, I wouldn't say a bunch. There are quite a few there. That's better. But, there were some that worked, and there were some that didn't. Like, I think there are more jump scares in the second half of the movie. And one of the things I liked, which James Wan does really well, he didn't direct this movie, but he did really well in The Conjuring, was that he would set up jump scares, and you'd be expecting them, but they wouldn't happen. Like, there's one scene where one of the girls is looking out the window, and, like, you see something coming towards her, and, like, she turns around, and you're expecting it to be, like, a jump scare, but it's not there. I don't know. I always thought that was really cool and really impressive. But I don't know. The jump scares weren't the worst in the world in this one. There's some that are like, oh, okay, come on now. But then there were some that are like, oh, that was pretty cool. Pretty cool imagery, actually. But yeah, like I said, jump scares weren't the worst in the world. All in all, I actually enjoyed Annabelle Creation. I thought, when I saw a couple months ago that there was a sequel coming, I was like, oh, I think it was, I don't remember, maybe it was Warner Brothers? Whoever produced the company, I was like, how did they greenlit one after that first train wreck? But this one was pretty good. I'm going to give Annabelle Creation a 7 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. I think you should go see it. It's scary. It does fall under, the realm of cliche horror movies, but I think it's worth it. I'm excited to see what happens next with the Conjuring universe. I know they're making 3 more. There's The Nun, The Crooked Man, and The Conjuring 3. If I had to place my bets on which one I'm most likely going to be disappointed with, it's probably going to be The Nun. I've never been a big fan of Nun stuff, but I don't know. We'll see. I wasn't looking forward to this one, so we'll have to wait and see. Thank you all so much for listening. I do want to let you know that I will be at a sleepaway camp this upcoming week, so I'm probably not going to be posting any reviews, but when I get back, I want to try and see, hopefully, The Hitman's Bodyguard. I think that's coming out soon, but I do want to see that, and hopefully I can get a review up for that. But, like I said, thank you all for listening. If you've liked what you listened to on here and you want to listen to more, go like, comment, and subscribe. That would really help, and I would really appreciate it. The links to all of my social medias are down below in the description. Other than that, this has been A Talk in Depth.